On today's show, yes, it's that time of year again. Time for lots of dogs, lots of games, and lots of game fare. And next, we're heading north, way north, to fish a lake that sits on the west end of Voyageurs National Park. Are there memories there? We'll have to wait and see. And later, it may be a little plain brown bird, but these feathered friends are known for their song of summer and so much more. Those stories and more next.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's Select GMC dealers.
Hi, everybody. Raven and I welcome you to the show. You know, for 3 decades, an event called Game Fair has taken place northwest of Anoka at Armstrong Ranch Kennels. Yet, some folks still wonder, what is Game Fair? Well, we have the answer. Let's start this story with a question. What is Game Fair? After all these years,
33 years.
Lots of folks still wonder.
Game Fair is a celebration of all things outdoors. Everything from shooting, archery, duck calling contests, dog field trial contests, you name it. Everything that celebrates the outdoors, family, food, and fun. I would say that's what Game Fair is.
Okay, let's go look around.
I'm Frank Taylor, been coming to all 33 game fairs.
And if she gets a rabbit, who gets to eat it?
She does. This is Mim. She's a red-tailed hawk. I've had her for 9 years. I caught her on my land up on the North Shore. We use her instead of a shotgun, and we go out hunting rabbits, strictly rabbits with her. Game Fair is a great time in the outdoors where it's a good opportunity for us to show other hunters that we are hunters and to let people see our birds up close. So it's a great place to come to.
Now for a little history. 33 years ago, I started announcing in this barn behind me. I was the only one in there. Now it's a food place and a wildlife art barn, we call it. And then down here, we're probably only a dozen or so exhibitors, tents, and weren't many people there. Today, there's hundreds of exhibitors, thousands of visitors, and more than 4,000 dogs. Dogs of every kind.
This is a dog that was bred to work.
Lots of folks bring their dogs to Game Fair. Some dogs compete in doggy games.
Oh, yes, ma'am. That is the way that his job is supposed to be done.
Obstacle courses. Speed retrieving. And long jumping, too.
Like this. Thank you so much.
Hey, Game Fair has so many faces. Whose idea was this? The answer? Chuck Delaney and his wife, Lorelei.
This is our home, first of all. My Lorelei and I live here, and we've got a great spot for this fair. It's a family thing. What really gets to me is the guys that come today with their kids and say, my dad brought me here when I was this age. It's an emotional thing for me, and it's really for getting the youth to get involved in the outdoors.
Now in its 34th year, Game Fair still brings outdoor folks together for 6 days or 2 big weekends every August. And the biggest attraction?
On the stock, we got flipping it up.
Trick shooters. Give a nice welcome to the Gould brothers right here.
And yes, we are brothers. I know we don't look a lot alike.
And so it begins, an exhibition of fun and magic with a shotgun. Hey, nice shot, Gould brothers.
That's something to brag about, too.
Are you starting to find your own answer to what is Game Fair? Did you go by the archery area where kids learn to shoot? And don't forget, up on Waterfowl Hill, lots of folks want to talk to the ducks.
We're just here selling calls and having a good time meeting people.
All right.
Well, a lot of fun. This is a little something that we can do on a duck call.
Yes, music to a mallard's ears, I guess. Okay, our tour is about over. Although we skipped a bunch, you'll just have to go see for yourself when the 2015 version comes around. And don't forget, bring the dog.
Dandy walleye.
Coming up, it's happy times for these anglers as they find the honey hole.
Nice.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Minnesota Select GMC dealers. Connecticut, Ellsworth Creamery, and by Borderview Lodge.
Welcome back. You know, Minnesota has one national park, Voyageurs National Park. It's a park that you must see by water, which means a place called Lake Kabetogama. Bill Shirk went there for a Kabetogama adventure.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah! Oh, that's a nice one.
Fish with Todd Nibby, and you notice.
Oh, that's a rod bender.
I didn't mean to ask.
It's a walleye.
The guy always seems to smile.
It's a challenge to catch walleyes, and I love it. I love the challenge.
Although Todd will be first to admit, catching Lake Kabetogama walleyes is not the toughest task.
It's my favorite lake, absolutely. Why this lake? Oh yeah, oh that's a nice one. We catch fish in shallow water.
There's fish.
We catch fish in medium.
Oh, there's a nice one. There's a fish.
We catch fish in deep water.
Oh, we've been here 2 minutes. Goldie.
There it is. Kabetogama walleye.
Every year, Todd, a regular old angler just like you or me, travels north to fish Cab.
Is this categorized as a walleye chop?
The lake sits on the west end of Voyageurs National Park.
The walleye fishing up here is just tremendous.
This trip, we set up shop at Arrowhead Lodge, one of Kabetogama's most historic spots. Arrowhead's owner knows cab fishing.
Awesome, awesome. I have never in my life caught a walleye like I did when I first got here. Tremendous walleye, fat and sassy. You can't beat a Kabetogama walleye.
Look at this, when you do this and your pipes are hanging out, that's when you know it's dandy. That was fun.
That's a dandy fish.
Yee-hee.
Another nice Kabetogama walleye.
Yeah. Nice, this is better than nice. I don't know what yours was like. When you have to back away from the camera.
Yes.
Can't get it in frame. Look at that.
Well done. I love the color, how dark they are, just golden.
Look at that, he's even gonna pose for the camera, man. This is like the best day ever. What do you see, what do you see?
It'll be a big one.
You think so?
No, it's a nice fish.
Oh yeah.
It's a nice Kabetogama walleye. I've been coming up here now for, getting close to 20 years and really look forward to it. It's just fabulous. We will not need to measure that one. He's a little too big.
More on why he comes to Voyageurs in a moment. Trust me, there's a story behind it. But first...
Any predictions for today?
Pain.
I want to show you Todd's daily MO.
Do you have any promises for this area?
It's always produced in the past.
Todd hits the same spot every time he visits.
All right, let's do it.
I'm counting on you.
Because on this lake, you can fish memories. Although he is not a guide, he sure could be. Seems everyone knows Todd.
How's it going, guys? We just kind of had a little flurry right in through here a couple minutes ago.
See what I mean?
There's fish right there. And I see a mouth of a dandy walleye.
Oh, that's a beaut. That's a beautiful cat.
Check that out.
Nice. Nice fish. Oop.
Got fish?
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, here, I'll just hold mine while I net your fish.
The monster smallie.
Dun, dun, dun. We got game on. Okay.
Isn't that fun, huh?
Hold it up and you gotta yell, son.
Woo! Kabetogama smallmouth.
Like I said, Todd's a pretty happy guy. And he's on this lake because of all these boats.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7.
And you know what? They'll all be catching fish.
And these folks.
There you go.
Todd's sort of adopted Kabetogama family. And the Martin family story is one for the memory book. Hang tight, I'll explain.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Yard.
Let's continue now with our Lake Kabetogama adventure. What are they seeing? What are they catching?
In an evening bobber fishing spot,
That's all there is to it.
a Minnesota legacy plays out on a most appropriate stage. Todd Nibby fishes this little spot between two Lake Kabetogama islands every time he visits.
Oh, we got fish.
Michael, nice fish.
But see, he's not alone. We sit surrounded by Todd's closest friends, members of the Martin family.
Oh, there you go.
Wow. Kind of introduced this lake to me. It's their traditions and just the things that they do up here as a family. They've been able to allow me to participate in that. It's just awesome, in my opinion. It's great.
To understand the Martin story is to head back to camp.
We've been coming to this lake consistently every year. It's a family reunion for us.
Jack Martin might be underselling it a bit. See, the Martin clan, I'll call them, visits Kabetogama every year. Trust me, it's on the calendar.
This second week of June, or first week of June, is the Martin week at Kabetogama.
Jack's seen a lot of people come and go. Listen to this.
Well, I've been coming 63 years, since I was 7 years old. I'm 70 now.
70 years to the same lake. 70. All those trips documented in the family albums. The old wooden boats, fish caught literally by the wheelbarrow, tales of the good times and the not so good.
I think a lot of it's about my parents. I find that I miss them the most when I'm up here because I recall so much of our family life being around this kind of an event and coming here.
Maybe that's why the annual Martin trip appears stronger and more popular than ever.
Oh, yeah.
If I was going to have a last meal, I think a walleye fish dinner would probably be my last meal that I would request if I could ever have one.
It is the memories we make, the old and the new.
Buck on the first one.
So many happen on the water.
Scott, when we were kids, this was just thick right here. Trees and...
I got one.
Nice job. Nice fish. Wow. Good fish. Too big.
That's the other thing that's changed is you catch a lot bigger fish. You got a bite right here.
To watch Steve fish
Good hook set.
is to understand.
Good fish.
The old guys still outfish the youngins.
Woo!
So the next time you visit Kabetogama, look for the Martins. Odds are they'll be there next year, and the next, and the next.
Just on our calendar. It is the Martin week at Kabetogama.
Next, a story on a favorite little bird of mine. A hint? Most of us have them in our own backyards. Just listen.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Jesse Treble's Safe Basements of Minnesota, Vino in the Valley, Open Air Solutions, Maui Gym Sunglasses, and by Evinrude, the official outboard motor of Minnesota Bound.
And lastly today, a story about a little bird with a big voice, one you've all heard and seen, a story about the wren and a special friend.
She's talking to me now. There's one up there, but I can't see him, I can just hear him. The sound of that good music.
It's music sung by a feathered flute. The house wren, a summer sound in Minnesota as common as thunder, and pretty loud too, for a bird that weighs about as much as 2/4. But nobody enjoys the wren's repertoire any more than 79-year-old Raymond Schweiss.
It's kind of nice to sit down if you got time and watch how these birds operate. I mean, they know how to make things go.
Indeed, wrens will burst into song as often as 10 times a minute.
I like their noise. Like you can tell, they're singing away now, and they're talking to me. Maybe for some reason that I'm too close to them or something. I don't know, but I mean, it's just that I like being around them because it's when they feel good, I feel good.
Amazingly, the joy of wrens is known throughout the Western Hemisphere, from Canada to Chile. And Minnesota's wrens, like many Minnesotans, go south for the winter, but return in springtime.
When they come, then I get busy if I even had them done yet, you know.
For more than 2 decades, Ray has built wren houses.
It's a lot of them. I'd say 45, 50 maybe.
Houses of every style.
It's an apple, and the wren has got a nest in there. I didn't think that they'd go in there because being it was red, I thought maybe they'd fly by, but I tell you, didn't take them long, and they started making a nest in there in no time. This one is, well, I made it like a church, and it seems they like it because I stuck my finger in and there's a nest in there. I could feel that. That's my favorite over here.
In fact, the bird's penchant for using man-made nest sites is how the house wren got its name.
This is it. The hole is, I'm twisting it now, if you can see that. Here the wren just come out. He was in his nest.
Male wren sometimes claim several houses, but used only the one preferred by its mate. Of course, as summer wanes, the wren's time in Minnesota comes to an end after raising 1 or 2 families in those little houses.
Makes me feel good that they realize that I made them a nest and they're talking to me back.
By early autumn, our backyards are silent once more. Next spring, when the wrens return to Ray's backyard, something will have changed. Ray won't be there. A few weeks after we filmed this story, Ray passed away. He was 79. Who can deny the song of the house wren makes for a happy day? Well, that about does it for us. Remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors. I'm Ron Sharon, of course, always the star of the show. A little antsy today is Raven. Well, what's a problem? What's a problem?
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. For more information on these stories and more, catch us on the web at mnbound.com. Share your stories on the Minnesota Bound Facebook page under the Share Your Story tab.